While Dave and Jason are working under the car, I'm going to use the special hose disconnector. Every EV conversion is going to involve removing the gas engine. Everyone curious why this video took so long is about to find out. We're going to get the shed ready. We're going to start by just making space for the car. As we started to do this, we were knocking things over, and our goal is to make it so that we knock fewer things over. I was going to put my mouth on this and play it like a trumpet, and then I noticed that there are spiders living in it. Dave said not to put my mouth on anything I find in here, which is very disappointing. So many things look like they'd be fun to play. The tarp loves how it loves. I have two boobies. Here's how you can tell our YouTube channel is going to peak at 4 figures in views forever per video, because we forgot to set up, we forgot to set up a camera to do a time lapse, and we're already halfway done clearing the garage. Getting the motor down there was easy. Getting it out is going to be a little harder. We're going to do it with the help of a couple of basic machines. Here we've got an inclined plane.
And the human body.
Wait, you have a body down here?
Getting ready now to disassemble our drive system and get it moved up to the shed. I had to get the tractor out of the way, and we actually found a use for our ill-fated half-a-car cover. This shop vac was a garage sale find. It comes with a bucket. The exhaust spews dust, just transfers dust to the air.
Doing this one-handed, so my form looks terrible. Trying to get a clip for our montage. Don't judge me. DIY cobweb remover. When a hobbyist attempts a complicated process like an engine removal for the first time, there are going to be setbacks.
Right? Yeah.
Every hose we removed, every bracket we pried open, every connection we disconnected, new problems presented themselves. If, like us, you aren't a mechanic by training and you want to attempt a conversion project, be prepared for even the little tasks like disconnect all the hoses from the engine to contain multiple smaller problems that will each need to be researched, considered, and then solved via trial and error. Before we could try to drop the engine, we would have to disconnect all the hoses and cables, remove the exhaust, and set up a pulley and jack to lower the engine.
Jack points are up in the front. Added some fail-safes here. Rear jack stands where the leaf spring hooks up to the chassis. We've got our other fail-safes on this solid axle. Just going to disconnect the battery.
Are you tightening it? So who's going down?
I guess I'm going down.
And who's going to go under the car? We've taken out exactly one part and we've already lost it.
It's in the shed for sure. This is the engine oil drain plug. That was the cleanest one of those I've done in a long time. I got a bunch of oil in my hand.
Yay!
Because I was trying to turn the oil filter the wrong way to get it off.
This oil filter wrench is just slightly too big for this. Too tight to take off by hand. You only have about 90 degrees. You need about 45 degrees just to get it to start grabbing.
People who are trying to market things to mechanics. A nice little pillow. It'd be nice to just take a nap every now and then.
Well, they do make this thing called a creeper.
Yeah, we have one.
Why am I just lying on the ground then?
This is worthless. The stupidest tool in the entire universe.
If you don't want to...
Whoa! Why is everything in oil? Wait, I think I got the stupid thing that doesn't work to maybe work. Okay, it's moving.
Yeah, you were going the wrong way, Jason. We've unfairly slandered this tool. You know what this resembles? Is like...
Oh, there we go, another one.
This is like when a person goes to the hospital with something stuck up their butt.
How was it like that?
Pro tip, try to drop as much as possible in the oil. Why does everything that comes out of a car look so delicious? It looks exactly like the contents of a Huggy.
This is the lime.
Take that and you freeze it in popsicle mold.
I like that they make special bedpans for cars.
It's coming in coughs and spurts.
It's got a path of stone. This is how they make it. This is the transmission fluid.
And even though we're not removing the transmission, we're taking that out because we're going to need to disconnect it from the engine. Pull up the video then?
Yeah.
The animals video that I probably need to watch instead.
Maybe they can help us with this. Maybe one of the funny animals is doing an engine removal from an Acty. I have to hold it with my finger, but then my wrist gets in the way. So I can move it exactly one click of the ratchet. You just have to loosen that guy the whole way.
If it works like a bike brake cable, there's probably just a way to slip it out.
Jason's laughing at me for not mounting the carb screws thing according to any kind of system.
I wanted something to stick under here and kind of work it. If I take this clamp off, maybe I can take this connector out. I was just trying to get to the screw.
But enough about your dating life.
All right, so that's where the throttle cable goes in. Yep.
Should we undo that screw there?
Probably. We're definitely removing the airbox and the exhaust. We're disconnecting the hoses. That all has to happen before we lower it.
We don't need to take like
this shit,
the whole engine apart to get it out. We just want to take the middle.
So yeah, we don't need to unscrew everything.
Our ideal is that we have a working engine that we can either
one
sell,
block.
repurpose, or reinstall. This is where the air intake connects to the carburetor. So the shift linkage is here, and we will have to remove it.
There's a cotter pin. And if you put it back on, let's use a new cotter pin. This one needs to be put out to stud.
Well, that stuff will go back together because we're gonna leave the transmission in.
There we go.
Okay, I'm just gonna toss this.
Nice.
Ugh, almost in my eye.
GPV blast or so?
Yep. You know, you flick it to get the drip off the end. That is out of the bracket now, but we still need to disconnect it. Thank God we picked a car that's easy to work on.
If you're gonna do an EV conversion, pick a car that is almost completely mechanical.
Aha.
Jason was making fun of me for my label earlier, and then he went and labeled this shift linkage thingy.
It's just that you put it on upside down.
I'm getting the clamp on the other side of the same hose. All right, that hose is off. That's a job for PP Blaster. I'm gonna just soak these flange bolts. They look like the bolts that hold together the mummy's crypt. Oh, there we go.
There's something.
Yeah.
That's the part that was broken.
Oh, it's not gonna ever not be broken.
The other half of it is still in the car.
I disconnected these. It obviously never been disconnected the whole time this car was operational. The pinch tab really didn't want to move. It's basically solid. We were able to disconnect the coolant hose. I yanked it this way, and now it's taking a piss.
I think we're getting a wobble socket. Yeah.
Wow, sorry.
I don't know if that's the technical term for it, but you can apply rotational force without having
a good angle,
straight
yeah.
drive line. I got this part, which isn't the airbox, but it's the thing above it, and I think it needs to come out to get to the airbox.
I guess I should probably cancel my insurance for this.
There's a hose that tees off, and then one side goes in the car, but there's a sensor in the exhaust.
It has a pinch tab.
That was completely invisible from down below.
This little hose, where does it go? Somebody tell me if I wiggle this.
It looks like it's right below the carburetor.
So is it attached to the airbox at all, or is it just kind of adjacent to it?
It goes over the top and then into that little cylindrical thing on the side.
Somebody put this plug in this hole?
I didn't do that.
I put this one in there.
Oh, that's actually from a bike handlebar, but it's fine. We're pretty close to being ready to take the airbox out. What I think we're probably going to do is start to pull it out and then find what it's hanging up on. Bag it. Airbox bolt.
Got it. Bag them and tag them. Is this connected to something?
I think it is.
It might come off at this end. Ah, got it.
This is hung up on something.
Is it this thing? It's very easy for me to access if you don't want to monkey around with it. Oh, fuck. That hurts my fingers.
You can use a pair of pliers.
I had it and then it slipped. Okay. These have no grips. I can do it.
I got the fucking sensor undone.
Was it what I thought it was?
Yeah, there was a little tab. I ended up putting a wrench.
There we go.
Just soaking some of the bolts on this part of the exhaust system with some PB blasters so that we can get them off. We're gonna have to remove this shielding first. I took this nut off the exhaust header and now it's stuck in the socket. Giving up on this stupid bolt, so we're just gonna cut around it.
This is
you wanna label those too?
yeah. This is like a tool that you would use if an elephant had a toothache.
There's like a little strip of metal. There
Oh, there you go.
Why do I not have my mask back on? Oh no! Either I fogged my glasses up or I inhale lots of dust.
Still need that bolt out.
I know, this sucks. Cut the shielding around this bolt, hoping that would solve the problem that we rounded off the bolt and can't get it out. And no, we still need to remove that bolt. Got all the heat shielding off the exhaust. So now Jason's working on getting some coolant hoses out of the way. I found this vacuum hose here, which has been broken. I don't think we broke it. I think it's just been like this. Give me the peanut butter.
You're gonna backflow on yourself.
Oh, there. Yep, thanks for the warning.
I can try drilling that bolt once we're done.
So as far as I can tell, Jason is down there dremeling through a coating of pure farts. I've masked up. That smells so bad. We are pretty close to being done disconnecting cables and tubes. This is electric. I think this goes down to the starter. It splits into two down there, and then it splits into two again. So to remove it from the
engine
entirely, we need to take it off in 3 places. One of the fun things about lefty, loosey, righty, tighty, you have to actually think of it as clockwise and counterclockwise. Then when you're upside down, you have to reverse it. So Dave wants the force to be going clockwise. We're trying to get at it from underneath. He needs a wibbly wobbly.
A wobble?
Over here.
Oh, it's a wobble. So usually when I use this, it comes off and falls on my face. Now we're gonna take the rear wheels off, and then we gotta get started disconnecting the solid axle in the rear. It'll get it out of the way so we can get the engine lowered out of the vehicle. So this is what we call 220 pound-feet of torque. Getting these caps off the leaf springs. If the suspension does bottom out, this little nub just collides with this and doesn't damage anything else. We want to undo these axle nuts because we removed this cap first. If you actually try to turn the axle nut, it just moves the entire assembly. So Jason's reattaching that one. He already got this one for us. In the process of trying to get this loose, yes, we just rigged up this janky adapter. The ratchet itself actually broke. There's like some kind of wispy stuff coming out of it.
Oh, that's just the PV blaster burning off.
Oh, okay. Aha!
We should put all the axle stuff neatly in a line, maybe 2, and then it can be our axle rows.
Oh, yeah. I see. I want like somebody else to do a little bit of that, so it's not like that Kennywood ride where you grab onto the vibrating thing and then your hands go like that forever. I want to give this a rest because that's like
let that cool down.
Maybe if we bust another tool on this one, it'll loosen up. Aha!
Shit.
The Acty has claimed yet another innocent victim. Not even trying.
If we want to go to the store, it's a shame that we took all the stuff off the engine. We've got to hook it all back up just to drive to the store.
You could push it the whole way there.
Using all the basic machines, pulleys and levers. Oh, that's gonna go.
Nice. Tom was doing something.
Very
He doesn't only edit videos. Oh, he's doing a bad job. Those bolts don't want to push down the same way that they do on that side.
It might just be crusty.
Just do the same thing.
Hope your mouth was closed.
We're just using this giant-ass screwdriver to pry these CV axles out. From there, we should be able to pull them out with our hands, according to videos on YouTube. And YouTube videos never make things look easier than they really are. Okay. There we go. So this is the thing we built, and we are hoping to hang this hoist. It's actually for hanging up like an animal you killed. We're also going to get a jack underneath it to carefully drop it down.
This is designed for lifting deer and elk. We have to cut a slit in the hide between the tendon and the bone in the lower leg of the game animal. We're going to have to locate that.
Well, that's just the engine mount of an animal.
Yeah, what do we think
Well,
is the...
gotta be ligaments or something.
Yeah, I'll just put together only the funny bits.
So you're going to cut all of this.
How many horsepower is an elk? Elk is probably worth like a horse and a half, right?
Portable packaging.
Unboxing is always the most boring part of our videos, and I record it anyway every time thinking I will make it interesting, and I never do. This is like one of those puzzles that your uncle gets for you for Christmas that it, like doesn't actually have a solution because your uncle's trolling you. There's a very, I'm talking about a very specific gift from a very specific uncle. It looks like just a coat hanger.
It's a deer hanger.
The deer's coat.
We've got an assembly diagram for this part, which is like blindingly fucking obvious. And then they have no instructions.
How is pulley formed? How engine get hoisted?
Single square knot's gonna be enough.
Bolin's a no-slip knot.
This is what I get for not being a Boy Scout.
I'm gonna try.
Kids, the way you do a bowline, the rabbit goes out of the hole, it looks around, it sees its own shadow, and there's 3 more months of winter.
Bowling is when you have 10 pins and a heavy ball.
I only know how to tie it around my back.
There was some sort of hazing ritual that you were in earlier.
It's supposed to be, if you're like falling off a cliff, you're like, you can go blah, 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 like that in 10 seconds. Well, like, it's never gonna, you're just gonna go, and you're gonna die.
We can just hang you from the rafters. Would that work?
It's not going anywhere. I don't know if it's a bowline knot.
Right.
This is the same basic principle behind supporting underwire brassiere. Men, take note. This is what a woman does every day.
You're gonna end up with a total mechanical advantage of 4-to-1.
You will love pulleys if you enjoy untangling cables for your computer. If I just hold this. That works.
This is right in here. Which
Yeah, they should be reversed.
too much fucking. Oh.
That's why we test it. The next time someone has to burp, can we do ooh-ah? This is just for setting it up. We're not actually going to use the rafter. Pro tip, fuck up your knot, just keep putting half inches in it.
Yeah, that's not
the mechanical advantage.
Is there anything that's gonna fly and hit me in the nuts?
probably not. Aha! And this other thing came off.
Oh, you can just lift that. That's not connected anymore.
Yeah.
Hercules beetle jaws.
Is it dishing?
Yeah, it is.
You hit your fingies?
Yep.
More of the basic machines here because these are inclined planes.
Right, but we're not
using
we're not
them.
using
I'm
them.
just saying. Pulleys,
Symbolically
levers.
represent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jason brings his ramps. We put them under here so it's all balanced. We hook the thing back up around. We move these guys and this guy so that they don't break on that. We put the jack underneath.
Then undo the engine mount.
Someone stands here and does that while someone lowers the jack from underneath.
What? We're gonna have the jack under the engine for the sake of safety, but we also have to get this dolly under it to get it out of the way. Disconnecting the shocks because they were giving us some resistance moving the solid axle out of the way.
Did you find the side of the thing again?
Not with anything that hurts. No, but these brake lines gonna be too tight.
Oh, is that actually what's limiting our movement? Yeah, that must be.
Should we just bungee cord the CV axles out of the way?
Dave, it looks like you're gelding a horse.
Kind of.
Thank you, Chung the Maker. We've watched your video about removing the engine a dozen times. It's the best tutorial out there. I'll link it in the description.
Oh, yes.
It looks like...
You know what that might be?
Your prototype 1890s fuck machine.
Try the clutch. Oh,
Yep, that's it.
There we go. Okay. If somebody can get in here, try to take that cable out.
I'm almost there.
Shaft too big.
I've had that problem many times. Can you get at the other side? Yes, we're out. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Gonna blow a gasket.
None of that was actually helpful. That was just purely masturbatory.
This is how you get.
You're not on it anymore. Oh. Slipped out.
One of these days, it's gonna come out.
You know what I'm gonna do when that happens.
Okay, I think we just have to give up on this whole project. Creative differences. That's free.
So we're supposed to do that and slide it like this.
Well, I tried to do that at one point and it didn't work.
Well, it was very hard to move
The
it.
next time we take apart an Acty engine, we'll know exactly what to do with the clutch linkage. Underneath, Dave could see where the cable came from and where it went. Jason could see that there was a little bracket, and I could see the bolt, the 3 blind men, and the elephant. Adaptive reuse. Fragile.
This is the speedometer.
Oh yeah, that would make sense.
That set of cables goes to a variety of places on the engine. This one goes all the way under the carburetor. If we remove
This connector here.
the whole carburetor,
It's kind of integral to the engine. If we took it off, we'd have to disconnect every single one of these hoses.
so we're gonna try to remove this cable without doing that. I did an investigation. That whole cable snakes all the way and goes up into the dashboard. And if we were thinking it would be easier to disconnect it from there, it does the same thing where it splits into a bunch of different cables, and one of them there's no obvious way to remove at all. So we are actually working on the easier part. Dave is going for his dental assistant certificate. Say, ah.
Wish I had a burp queued up for that.
We did get this fucker out. We just have these guys over here to disconnect. Medusa head here. This was connected to a whole bunch of shit in the engine, and now it's not.
We think we are actually done unplugging stuff.
We'll look forward to seeing what snaps when we drop the engine.
We slowly lower the engine.
When the engine plummets,
Yeah.
the engine impacts.
Not on anybody's toes.
In
the passenger seat, wrong side.
Put tension on it. Yep. A flaw in my plan became clear once you started tightening. I need to find a different place to seat one side of it. I need another 6 inches.
Well, don't we all?
Tighten it. What if we've all had our heads crushed into the truck and this is just our dying dream?
I would hope it would be like going a little bit better.
Oh, you found one.
Jack underneath.
And dolly.
I think we're gonna have to lower it onto here, and then jack this up and remove the jack stand.
Here's another problem. With the jack under the dolly, we cannot operate the jack.
We're gonna have to get the dolly out of the way to use the jack.
Are we going to have to? Because we can't put the dolly back once the jack is in place. We've got a goat, we've got some cabbage, and we have a whoa.
Do you want to put it on my head?
Sure.
It's easier if you don't put it on your head.
Well, now we're
I'm not
committed.
wearing a big fat glove.
Now we're committed.
I was fixing my face the whole time. I was thinking about blowing my nose. Oh, threw up a little. When you burp and you're sideways, it's bad news.
It's just a big ass carrot bowl.
Dave, I think you're in the way of the camera. Sorry. I mean, if you're doing something useful, though.
No, I'm not. I'm just watching.
If you're gonna watch, don't forget to like and subscribe.
I've got some tension on this pulley. I'm not wrapping it around my hand because that can go badly. Wait, that's wrong way. So it's a very long bolt. Okay. It's not doing anything crazy yet.
It barely budged. Dave, do you even feel any weight?
No, not yet.
Do we have any more bolts or is that it?
That's it.
Then you put the jack in the fucking Goldilocks zone, man. Oh, that's a good sound. I feel like there might be something holding it on this end. This bolt that you took out came from here, right?
Yeah.
It still needs to slide like straight down, but there's more weight in the front. I think it's gonna be okay. I'm just gonna keep an eye on it.
I'll be doing right there, Tom.
We're tipping forward, but I'm not worried about it yet. Also, we want to tip a little bit forward because we want to clear all these fucking axles.
Take a big screwdriver, jam it in there, and try to work it.
Baby. There's a ton of potential energy locked up in that joint. Maybe we just get the other jack.
We get one in the front.
Raise the front until that gives.
Yeah, yeah. This is one that's so sad. We have a rubber lock lid.
We could always take these bolts out.
We have a winner.
Okay, now we should definitely be able to lower it.
I don't like what it did to my back.
Now when I lower the back one,
It should slip.
we're stable where we are. There's no weight on the front one. Now would be time to pull it out and leave the weight on the back one.
Oh!
We're close to the dolly. Pull the jack out and try to lower it off the dolly.
Alright, Dave, it's gonna be on you.
Good.
There you go.
The jack is out.
Alright, engine's kind of floating. It's
Okay.
good, you're on the dolly. Alright.
Well, are we centered on it? The dolly needs to come towards the door of the shed. It's not going because you need to raise the engine.
It's not getting any better than that, guys.
That went okay.
Nobody lost a foot.
We need to pull those electrical cables through the hole in the bed before we can take it forward or they'll snag. Okay, you're clear of that other cable. Okay, forward.
Sorry about that. At the beginning of this process, my friend Jim told me, just turn it into a Flintstones mobile. And I just want to say for the record that we have in fact done that. You can now stand in here and push the car.
If we took the spare tire out, would that solve the whole problem?
Oh, it's just like slide. Okay, let's put a captive nut.
Bob, are you ready over there?
Yeah.
Alright, come toward you. Okay. Now we should be able to swing that down.
You got a little dealie that's going to bump up against your battery thing.
Check this out.
This is amazing. Oh, we've got an engine.
So we have a working gas engine, not in a car. We have a car, and we have an electrical circuit disassembled.
Getting closer.
Yeah. We're gonna plug that fuel nozzle with a rubber glove. Put like a twisty tie on it. It will actually look like a condom when it's done because there will be like a little bit of fuel in like the tip. Sorry, we're 13-year-olds, okay? Dave was like, should I renew the insurance on this? Oh, this was an accidental damage. I hit a tree and Jason said, I heard a noise. Take it to the mechanic, be like, what's wrong with it? The engine is gone. What else needs to be said? If you want to help buy parts, check out the links in the description. It's been a long day. Time for a nice, refreshing sip of almond milk.